surprise. Skyscraper is where things will start off, of course, as you can tell. Operator bands going underway. And we will see the first attacker off the board. Who would have thought? Ayana. More target bans towards the French teams. Wolves, they get on a band against because of Mowgli. And well, Team BDS, well, it's going to be because of Shaiko and also a little bit because of Leak Effect because they share that operator. But it's mostly Shaiko.
Thatcher taken out by BDS. Is that going to necessitate a Kaid ban? Is that going to necessitate Bandit ban?
It can.
Mute ban? I know it can, Nick.
But will it?
That's what I'm asking.
Not yet. But of course, there's one more to go. BDS, they took away the Thatcher, so will it be matched? Or will they say take something else away instead? Bandit.
Bandit. So it was one of the two. I was correct.
Nice one.
Thank you, man.
Now, you do
actually, it's Los one.
Los
one. Is it Los or is it Los? What do you think? Let us know in the comments below.
That's what I'm thinking. Shashank, oh, I saw that. Dots just hovering Shashank there for a brief second, saying, oh, wrong operator. Change it around. Get it off my screen. Now, we have seen, is it every single operator in the game, period, or every single defender being played? Do you, because Rook was played earlier by SSG, and that was, I believe, the last operator that we had not seen yet for this event. So in Demon number 3, everything has been played. And on the very first day of the tournament, we saw every single bomb site and every single map being played in a 9-map pool scenario. That too is rather impressive. The flexibility and depth of the teams at this level of play for 2023 and as well as 2022 has really stepped up just that last level that we needed in terms of how deep people can go.
10 seconds.
And it's rather nice.
It is. The same video that I saw, that I referenced in a cast earlier today, Nick talked about innovative strategies that came up, and one of them was involving, I believe, a castle and an Azami inside of Geisha on Skyscraper, and how it wasted utility and provided this fortress that you could very easily defend. Now, obviously, there's no Azami on the board. She's banned out by Team BDS. But you still see the soft walls opened up, line of sights created inside of Geisha, castle barricades completely sealing the room. Oh, Dash down below, by the way, lurking on that Solus, an operator that has a very high prevalence rate.
Watch this.
Late setup as Black Mirror goes down. I'm assuming reflexively, you can't pick them back up. Once they're down, they're down.
Yeah. We tend to see players kind of just wait a 20-30 seconds to put down their last piece of utility sometimes because, yeah, as you mentioned, once you put it down, you can't change it, so we want to make sure that you get the most amount of value possible. Skyscraper, not typically a map where teams tend to rush or go really quickly into the building, so you can take that 20-30 seconds to see, okay, are they spawning on the west, are they spawning on the east side, and therefore make your decision accordingly. Now, the drone spotted out the Kite Claw on the top left of the wall, so the secondary EMPs can just quickly take that off. Breach goes out, and Geisha access will be granted.
It's very easy to bandit trick a number of these walls because of them being single or double panel walls with no option to go below. And sometimes, especially with Kaid on the board, you can throw those claws on the bottom floor in a way that those secondary EMPs don't have a big enough radius to deal with. Now, hold on a second. Loban gets kill number 1. Efac springs in, down he goes. This defense holding up for the time being. You've lost the Nook. Now that Yana you talked about, banned out by Los, means that Shaiko and Efac are not going to be able to use these, intel-heavy operators. Nitrocell goes out. There's a downed player from BDS crawling away. It's Bride, the superstar of that OXG match. 2 kills for BDS, by the way, onto both Maya and Loban. Nitrocell goes off. It's a bit too late. Action occurring with still a minute to go. Lems knows there's one over by Drum. He saw just the elbow. Can't secure yet. Logic Bomb will go out, give information as whether or not Rise will be able to step up and kill either Bride or one of the players over BDS playing that position. Siege timing at its best. Rise moves off. Comes back into it, sees the Lion. It's not a DMR, it's a shotgun, but boy, that TCSG will flatten you out. And Rise is hoping for that. Catches Renshiro going towards the window. Down he goes. Bride opening up Geisha. You don't have a lot of time to work with, only 15 seconds. The Solus is still playing below as well. A 3v3, and there's Shaiko doing what Shaiko does best, cleaning up the bomb site. They have to stop this plant. Ash has an idea, open it up with impacts. But now they know that he's still down below, and somebody needs to be dispatched to take care of him. Down goes Alems. Bride will plant. That leaves Rise to clutch in a 1v2, but Shaiko is down below. Heading back to the stairs. Rise gets the kill. Can he spot Bride? No. The Clutch Master, who pulls it off time and time again, has done it to teams all over the world, and he'll do it to Loss.
Ah, that is absolutely absurd. I mean, Bride is planting basically between two cracks in the wall, and, well, Lost. They're questioning where exactly is this plant going down. Rise couldn't really see the back of him. A small portion of his left shoulder, but he's sticking out of the wall here. Yeah, the scope blocks it, and BDS, they get the round, but they steal it away. It's extremely close.
You can hear your smile.
You can hear my smile. I love watching Bride. I always have. And Bride actually had one of his worst... I hate talking negatively about it, but he had one of his worst years, essentially, of like in 2022 as a player. And the BDS, you know, they had a mixed year in the first half. The later half, of course, was great. The Gamers 8 victory. They won in that show match over in Japan, or that tournament. And of course, they won the Ubisoft Major. So they've had a phenomenal later half of 2022. But that first half, Bride as an individual looked extremely lost. And I mean, we look at Bride as a support player who puts up extreme numbers on the scoreboard. Clutches, consistency, everything. He was still doing the support work, breaching walls, droning, etc. Surely he's also contributing the IGL department before League Effect's arrival. But in terms of the clutches and the kills, Bride was not himself for the majority of 2022. But so far, during Invitationals 2023, he has shown up in that old version of himself where he just wins every single time without failure. And BDS, of course, with their most recent success, they want to keep up that trend and find themselves the biggest trophy of them all. Second card call goes out, and League Effect quite simply just drives by it, doesn't even care. They got the opening that they maybe wanted, just a little swing in for pressure, not an entry point. The difficulty here for BDS is they only bring a singular hard breach. There are two external walls. Of course, one of those areas, it is a soft wall. But there is a deployable shield behind it. It's not easy to contest. BDS is still scouting for information as to where to make their next move. This is the new patch we're playing on, by the way. Twitch has 4 drones, 2 regular and 2 Twitch drones, and no grip. That is why you might be thinking that FAMAS looks a bit different than I remember. Well, that's why. There simply isn't a grip anymore.
Phone calls go out. You'll hear the players from Lost 1 all over the map. And BDS is not pouncing on it just yet. One of those phones very eerily close to Alems. He shifted his position right now. Looking towards Terrace, but nobody really there. Renshiro on the vault in. He'll be able to continue towards Samurai. Down goes Dots to EFAC, but traded back by Lobin. That's one apiece. Renshiro's just in the middle of the bomb site, by the way. And he sees one, controlling that SMG-12. Goodbye to Maya. Still in there, for the record. And another found for Renshiro. Rise the first kill for Loss in this ensuing fray. More will follow. BDS have lost 3 players after EFAC had died a couple seconds before the action began. Look at that. Shaiko and Bride still left alive. Bride with plant down. If there's anybody in the world you want watching over this plant, it's got to be Shaiko, and that's exactly why. Rise assaulting the castle barricade. Cannot get past Shaiko. Again, the post plant for BDS. Mighty fine.
Yeah, not just the post plant. The decisiveness and the aggression to get the entry. We saw it. Secondary EMP towards that window near the bomb site. You jump in, check the first trap, take the gunfights. It's Renshiro, actually, who led the charge. That's not something that we see quite often from BDS, but every single member is so capable in these aggressive scenarios, and it's why BDS, as a roster, have so much reach. And the desk kind of spoke about the missing ingredient, the flexibility in terms of operator pool. What hasn't really been there for BDS, you know, throughout the last 2 years or so. But League Effect, playing, what was it, 16 different operators at this event so far, has changed that tremendously. Last round, it was a Twitch, gaining information, shutting down some, etc. Not really doing too much fighting in that round, but then Renshi, he steps up, jumps in, gets 2 kills and contests the 3rd with the Dokkaebi. And then, now this round, we see League Effect hovering the nuke instead. Alems goes to IQ. All of a sudden, entirely different game plan for BDS, enabling League Effect perhaps this time to do something with those grenades from below, sneaking up a staircase, and trying and get an opening kill somewhere on the map, chasing down a roamer.
Attackers are heading out to defuse a bomb.
Well, Lost One have tried 2 separate bomb sites. Come as close pretty much as you're gonna get to winning both of them.
Certainly.
Remember what I said about how with both a Bandit and a Kaid, if you do want to bring both, you can very easily get an Electroclaw down below. That's exactly what I'm talking about. And it can be tricky depending on where the Electroclaw goes for one of those secondary EMPs to reach. The radius on them is tiny in comparison to the EMPs that Thatcher brings. It's like a big nuke versus a little nuke, essentially.
Okay.
Loban is dead. EFAC on Nook doing some damage. Doesn't matter what operator he plays. 16 attacking operators played so far at this event. Great flexibility.
Ow.
It looks like they might have gotten the Electroclaw, but for a second. Loban, who perished, was Oryx, which means that you can't roam as effectively as you want. He was playing off of his office side before. Now it's Maya in that exact same position.
Yeah, and look at this. League Effect, he got that pressure applied, doesn't have to apply any further, just wait for something to happen. But again, the timing, actually works in his favor. Bit of a whiff from Maya and League Effect, but he wins out instead in the end.
Have to just take a bit of a second to laugh at the postures of these players. Lost One are all about an inch from kissing their monitors. BDS, with the exception of Shaiko, look about as far back as you're gonna get. 2 kills on a BDS. Speaking of, Alems and EFAC taken out by players on loss. It's nice to see Thorn be played prominently. Where are those Razor Blooms? Where's Dash put them? Hidden them around the map.
Thorn's weapon did receive a nerf in the most recent patch, does significantly less damage, but that extended barrel brings it up a little bit with that 15% increase. The recoil is so small that the slight increase of that won't matter in the grand scheme of things. Shaiko and Bride up above, starting to hit the bomb side vertically. Bride catches the flank at the last second, and no Dash is coming, and he only has 1 HP left.
This is going to be a tight one. Dash and Bride so close. That gun did hit like a truck. I kind of get why they would nerf it.
Yeah, it did hit like a truck.
2 players from BDS.
Oh.
Dash knows this.
Oh.
Capitalize. No, he can't. Shaiko wins that duel. A tale as old as time itself.
Attackers have recovered their
Lost now down by 1. There are the cams in the possession of BDS. Under 30 seconds to go to pull off and execute Bride with diffuser in hand. Shaiko will try to lead the charge. He gets out-dueled for once. Dots punishing him, putting us back into a 2v2. Second target acquired. Both members of BDS drop down, but it's Bride to take matters into his own hands. Only has 2 kills, but highly impactful. And more important than that, he's getting the diffuser down yet again. This play for BDS is phenomenal. Rise controlling the MPX recoil, what little of it there is, to perfection, takes out Renshiro, and it puts Bride and him in a 1v1. Impact goes off. Bride at half HP, Rise at about 80%. Wall opened up. Now Bride has a good idea of where he is, and he peeks the wrong way again. Yet another round. Goodness gracious. BDS, 3 rounds in a row, all on 3 separate bomb sites, all with the diffuser being planted and winning in the post-plant every time. Outside of an ace or flawless rounds, you're hard-pressed to imagine how BDS could be doing this better.
Yeah, and once again, it's Bride clutching it out, as we love to see. There's a lot of ways to look at a team and be like, okay, this to me is a good team, this to me is a weaker team, etc. When you're looking at BDS in the last 3 rounds here in Skyscraper, the one thing that I would say that really puts them apart are the teams that I've seen so far, because this is the first time that you and I, Parker, have cast BDS as well as Lost One, is that BDS is showing pretty much 0 wasted movement or 0 wasted action. What I mean by that is they're always doing something proactively. Bride catches the flanker, and then, he holds the angle for about 5 seconds. Then you can see another silhouette. It's Shaiko coming behind Bride. They gang up with a 2 versus 1 trade, because if you give the 1 versus 1 gunfight and you lose it, the flank is still a problem. So they just, again, instantly calls over backup. The moment that kill goes through, you sprint right back to the bomb site. while that's happening, you had Renshi rotate through the map, get that phone that EFAC had gotten earlier to hack it to get the camera control, then BDS drops the hatch. The moment he kills the Kaid, instantly hops on plant. There's no 1 second missed here or opportunity wasted over there. It is just really thought out ahead of time, or at the very least, it's communicated in the second that it occurs. It's beautiful to watch, honestly.
These are the These are the defending major champions. Sorry, sometimes your words get a little bit too ahead of you. These are the defending major champions in BDS.
Yeah.
If you did not watch the Jönköping Major, oh, okay.
Good night.
Hold that thought for a second there. Dash playing by Kegs. Is that a reception? Don't know that he's there. Gets a pick. Nicely done. Now it's Dots to be pressured on back stairs. He's got a shotgun out and a barbed wire at the bottom of the stairs. He's got one of those deployable shields at the top. Bulletproof shields, technically.
Yeah, that's not wrong.
Half right. EFAC taking a bit of Dots' life away. And Dot's still in the same position, over top of the barbed wire. There goes the other nade. ADS is reset. Engage will come with a gun in hand. And oh, didn't even look like he was around the corner. I don't know how he saw him on that one. Dot's holding court at the moment. There was another nade, but the second ADS works out just fine, killing as much time as humanly possible. Bride in, takes out the Kaid, and pivots. It gets beautiful. A second. Loben is good as gone. Bride, 3 rounds in, no deaths. And based on what we've seen through these first 3 rounds, you expect him to be good as ever to get that diffuser planted.
That's peak performance right there, the injured job. The Claymore finds Dots as well. That is so unfortunate for Lost One, honestly. They needed that member alive.
And now they find themselves in a 2v4, 1v4. Maya down for the count. Shaiko gets the final 3. He only needs to work for 2 of them, though. You call a timeout if you're Lost One, it's 4-0.
Yeah. I mean, in all fairness, if we gotta go there, this is BDS's map pick, if it makes things easier. But less than ideal position to be in for any defending team right now. Maya yet to get a kill. Dots with a single. But I mean, these are just... It's a very aggressive BDS.
Bride yet to die still.
Bride yet to die as well, yeah.
No kills from Maya, Bride yet to die. That was a T and karaoke defense for the second time. There was no diffuser planted, but I mean, they killed them all before they could get into the bomb site. So I don't really fault them for that one.
I mean, Lem's never kill either, to be fair. It's not currently needed. Time are being spent by both teams for talk strategy and mentality. Now, unfortunately, I don't speak either of these languages. Yeah, exactly. I'm sure they have very valid things to say that we could break down and talk about, but I won't know at all. It seems like he's having a ton of fun, I'll say that much. Difmark and Shaiko exchanging some hand expressions and whatnot, repeating some words. It seems rather effortlessly in these gunfights. I mean, League Effect got absolutely destroyed by the shotgun on the back stairs. Loben just, I don't know, somehow swung the corner doing so much damage, but I barely saw anything but the shoulder. Look at the operator lineup here. It's pretty similar from Lost One. The Kite being brought to deny the walls, force out those secondary EMPs, and also kind of forcing BDS to, you know, pick up the IQ, because you can't blindly just toss those secondary EMPs around. Like you mentioned, Parker, their range is rather small compared to a Thatcher EMP, so if the Kite is above and the EMP below, that's not gonna do the job. So you use the IQ to find the location of the claw, then you can throw out those secondary EMPs accordingly, then you can guarantee that wall to get opened up. And because you're only running a single heart breach on Bride, that'd be the Ace or the Thermite, you don't really have enough heart breach utility to waste by missing that up. So BDS is kind of making sure that they get that wall opened up first by combining those 2 gadgets.
Those the Selmas open up a doorway to the top of the stairs. Dash the first pick, it's onto a Lems. You said he didn't have a kill, he's gonna have to wait even longer. Sitting on 0-5. Now, Lems is not a dedicated support player, though he does often play supportive roles for BDS. At this point, you should have expected to be involved, but you know what?
Oh my.
Who the hell needs a Lems when you got Shaiko doing what he just did?
Yeah, you really don't. It's also smoke. I mean, it's a very high value kill at that. That's gonna buy you 20-30 seconds on the clock. And yeah, Lem's just like almost like a secondary support flex player these days. Him and Renshi, they kind of share that burden on the team. BDS solo support. The current meta just favors you to get more aggressive, so having two support players playing their passive roles isn't the way to go right now, and no teams are really doing that.
And out inside a Dragon. Dot's just sitting and waiting. A very pivotal spot between these two portions of the top floor of the map. Another kill comes in for Loss, and it's on to Shaiko. A formidable opponent. Rises away back into Geisha if he wants it. Soft destruction that can be made quite quickly from that TCSG, but there it goes. Very quiet round so far, Nick, other than those two picks by Loss. Obviously losing the smoke and EFAC controlling recoil quite well. That's drum control for them. Not dragon, drum. Confuse these words.
Similar.
It's been a long day. Maya, though, goodness, playing by bar inside a lounge. They didn't know he was there, so BDS are quick to take up space. Dash on the flank, Dots out duels Renshiro. Bride with 0 deaths to his name. They're gonna test that stat. But Dash is on the flank.
Bride doesn't know.
They have no idea, and his first death. Still a valiant effort from BDS, but finally a strong round from Loss One. Coming in, they get on the board after that timeout.
They need that. It always feels satisfying and rewarding when you call a tactical timeout and things kind of work in your favor, and it all started well for them. Get the opening kill, you know, don't throw your advantage. Both play the bomb side and the roam. That flank continuously haunting BDS. Of course, usually it's not the round-defining thing for them because BDS have been winning these rounds, but it is a pattern that Lost One are abusing very well against them.
Very final defense, and it's the 4th bomb site that we've seen so far.
Okay.
Karaoke and Tea was played right off the rip. Office came next, Kitchen and Barbecue after that, and now we see the bedroom bomb site down below. In terms of success rates, BDS has won Karaoke Tea twice, Office once, lost it once, and then 1 Kitchen. All 3 of the first rounds, or all of the first 3 rounds, were just, I don't know what it is today, I just can't speak apparently, which is very critical for my job, but today is tough.
It's okay.
It's tough today. We all have our days, I guess. All of the first 3 rounds were so decisive for BDS when you look back on it, even though it did come down to 1 or 2 kills, BDS never were not in control. And yeah, it was close, and Loss One were in a position where maybe they could have won those rounds, but ultimately, you needed to change things up. That strategy on Office, with Loss roaming as effectively as they were and taking the gunfights to BDS, not allowing them to just walk right in, EFAC in particular walk right in, great. But how do you do that on Bedroom? You have to roam above, and you absolutely cannot give up control of the part of the map that you just successfully defended.
You're correct, and the only thing here, statistically speaking, is that the master bedroom slash bathroom bomb site only played 1 time so far this tournament, and attackers won it. So statistically, it's not looking good, but strategically, you are correct, Parker. If you hold on to the right areas, BDS can just walk on in. Unless they do just that. BDS, they have this tendency in the EUL where they don't do the thing that, oh, it's the cagging effect. It's when you do the wrong thing, but you get the desired outcome. We just covered this in the death segment. Yeah, BDS on Clubhouse will fail to get open the main breach, but still somehow win the round, which should not be happening. So if there is a team that can break this apart in a very simplified way that shouldn't work, it's probably going to be BDS. Now the Frost mat did not get destroyed. I'm not sure if BDS are aware of that. They really want this Kite Claw. And I don't think they got it.
Maybe now?
There it is.
Finally.
They got the claw as well, I believe, so...
Oh.
Dots under pressure.
Solus roaming. Not too far removed from the bomb site, though. Alems will go the first half without a single kill. That's yet another opening duel in favor of Loss. And despite the scoreline, Loss has 4 of the first bloods. Oh, nice shots. 2 kills. Quick order. Bride's in the middle of the bomb site. That's not where you want him to be, but Look up in the right corner. There's a Valkyrie camera that he has not spotted staring at him.
And it's solid.
Because of that, they're able to give information, a joint effort. It's almost like an IQ would have been nice here. They've run it before. Loban is just trouncing this BDS team this round. Renshiro, 1v3, thought they had control of the bomb site, and they did, technically. But Lost never relinquished that top floor, and it was a very linear take from BDS. Renshiro cannot control the SMG-12, even with its large magazine. First half in the books. Lost makes a graceful recovery as the final rounds tick down, but still trail after BDS stormed ahead 4-0. The 2 rounds by Lost were good. They have to turn it around on the second half.
And that round that we just witnessed, as well as something like a border ventilation defense, really shows the beauty of Rainbow Six Siege when it comes to the dynamic play of a map where you can hold the bomb site on the ground floor from the floor above it entirely. There were no members of Lost 1 on the bomb site itself. It was 3 members up above, solids, of course, with the gadget that can see it, Valkyrie cameras on the side granting information, and a Frost that can have who has a secondary shotgun to open up the floor to deny any plant positions. You can't just walk in the site itself in this game. You gotta worry about what's below it as well as above it, depending on the floor it's on. It's why something like a basement bomb site, or maps that have that kind of bomb site, is arguably easier to defend because you're not under threat from anything from above you. But at the same time, you also cannot defend it vertically yourself. So, this bomb site in particular that we're watching right now, T Karaoke, that's more of a horizontal bomb site where you extend across the map, like you see at Lemshes right now, into that office samurai area to deny the attackers an easy entry point, slow things down, kill some drones, and then hopefully, if you survive, fall back towards the site itself to get back to your teammates' positions. Lost 1, of course, they have the nuke available and the Dokkaebi. That combination is what BDS also used. Call goes out, nuke sneaks around, might get a kill or two, come up a staircase, flank somewhere on the map, and make things even more difficult. BDS are not playing any wall deny operators, so secondary MPs aren't needed from Lost 1, but they do have one set on Loban on the Dokkaebi because why not? Also, that's a fantastic drone from Dots.
Knock, knock.
One of the beautiful things of being able to go back and rewatch these matches on the replay feature is to see where drones get stashed. There's a lot more time spent by pro teams on how to parkour those drones up to a spot that you would never expect in a million years. In fact, the Earth would likely be consumed by the sun before you found some of these drones, if it weren't for the replay feature, of course. Go back and rewatch it for yourself. Learn some nice drone spots. Remember, for all those of you watching this matchup, the best gadget is not a primary gadget. It's on attack, and it's called a drone.
Yeah, it's like that, yeah?
You get 2 of them, I beg you to use them.
Please, yes.
All right, first half. Let's go through it very quickly. 3 diffusers planted by BDS. It came in rounds 1, 2, and 3. Breed A didn't die until the 5th round. Lost 1 used their timeout at the tail end of round number 4 after BDS went up 4-0. In terms of first bloods, Lost had 4 of the 6 and only won 2 of those rounds. There was the last 2 that just happened. This is easily the slowest round that we've seen so far in terms of action.
Yeah.
We're about to hit the 1-minute mark remaining in the round. Every soul on board still alive. Oh,
You almost cursed it.
just a slow peek. And Loban doing serious damage and then finishing off EFAC. There's your very first kill. Lost 1 eventually. You got to imagine they're going to just start winning rounds by breaking things open and smoothing out their mid to late round. And we are fast approaching the end of the round, Nick.
We are, and they've barely done with, it's step 2 right now, figuring out where they want to approach. With Shaigo in a world of hurt against 3 members, takes that one to a down state, but gets down himself.
There go the Selma charges. Toxic gas will linger in front of Maya. Rise brought back to life. Dash is the only one that's still not there. And it might be janky, but you can still get through that wall from Geisha on the outside. 15 seconds. Again, very slow, pitter-patter. The clock doesn't stop. Loban picks up yet another kill. Renshiro in a position they didn't expect of him, but they can easily dogpile him. 2 separate players from Lost 1 there. He leaves Breed A to clutch out, and boy, oh boy, we've seen him do this before. Starting with a single kill, he takes out Rise as well. There's no way he does it again, right? Right? Wrong, he doesn't. Dot says you might be the clutch master, but sometimes you fall just short. Lost one within striking distance of BDS, sitting on 3 rounds now.
And lost one, it wasn't shown directly in the first person point of view, but one thing they did beautifully that round is while they were executing 3 members above, they actually managed to kill a Lemge who was on the solas downstairs. If that instance that we saw here, planned with 5 seconds left, occurred with Bride alive and the Lemge below, the solas would deny the plan. Bride stays alive in that backstairs position, and BDS they steal the round. So lost one with the checklist, okay, you know, get map control, get to the bomb site, execute, but while doing so, make sure that there's nothing downstairs that can disrupt the plan, because we are so low on time, there is no room for these kinds of mistakes. They check it, they take down a Lemge, and they secure the round in that 1v1 clutch, denying Bride what would have been his 3rd clutch in 7 rounds. So if you take those rounds away from BDS, it is not as close as a 3-4 scoreline. Lost one would have been running away with this with a couple of rounds advantage.
5 seconds remaining. Attacker's objective is to locate
I think really
the bomb.
stands out for me on BDS's lineup, very similar to what we saw Lost One running on in that first half. Dokubi being very prominently featured, taking the place, I assume, of Yana for this Lost One team. I mean, Shaiko couldn't play Yana, so they just put him on Ashe. Okay, that's actually not a bad thing. Teams used to talk about banning Ashe
Yeah.
in order to cool off Shaiko.
Yeah.
And then he started playing what? He started playing Zofia or IQ, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think it was Sophia back then.
Yeah.
I believe so, yeah. Shaiko is one of the quote-unquote few players who plays operators for their gun, because he is so lethal in the server that it is absolutely worth to give this man whatever gun he wants. Ayan and Ashe, they both share the G36C. So if you ban one, you play the other. It's really simple, really. So ever since Ayana got released, you can argue Shaiko buff. Can't ban them both, not yet at least.
Is that first logic bomb that's going to go off? Wait for the next if Rise wants to use it at any point.
It's another slow start for Lost One, and I mean, it worked for them last time. Only downside is when you burn the clock down so early on in the round, everything has to go perfectly once you get to that 3rd stage of a round, and that is the execute. And interestingly enough, they're going for a vertical take, but not the way you'd normally expect. They're going from below attacking up, like a good old coastline attack with the buck below. We haven't seen this in quite some time. Wall gets opened up as they get the jammer and the kite, but no! The second kite gets tossed, they trick the wall successfully, and 1 exothermic charge gets burned. They have another one. It's okay.
You know, if this was a professional sport, I think there'd be studies done on Bride's ability to just completely dominate a matchup in a multitude of ways. In kills, in objective play, in gadgetry. I mean, at this point, is there a better support in the world than Bride?
I mean, he's been up for that award for a long time, I would say.
He has.
Souls, when he joined FaZe, was also kind of joining that list. He plays a similar kind of playstyle as Bride, an aggressive support, clutching out. No, Bride is my goat. Let's put it that way.
Scout out Dragon, 30 seconds left. We talked about slow rounds, goodness gracious. Lost One were painfully slow in the previous round, but it worked out for them, they won it. They're even slower now. 20 seconds left and the first casualty finally happens. Maya removed from Shaiko, he's still out roaming, EFAC, off-site as well. Within arm's reach of it, but not technically in it. It's Dash to come up the stairs. BDS just sweeping through the remaining players, and there's only a single kill from Lost One. Pretty hard-pressed to be a team that with 14 seconds to go, there's only 3 of you left, and 15 seconds ago, there were still all 5 of you left.
Yeah, time is the biggest for Lost One right now. I mean, that second kite claw on the triple breach inside of Office, it stalled like 40 seconds off the clock, and the Buck could essentially see the claw the entire time. They even rotated the secondary EMP grenades over to try and get it that way. The EMP didn't reach the claw. Buck still had to try and find the claw. And again, as I said, 40 seconds disappeared from the timer. and that is just a very painful position to be in because you only get 3 minutes from the very moment the round starts. 30 of that is to reach the building. You know, you gotta drone the map, take control. It's too valuable to be spending doing essentially nothing. And I was giving BDS praise on their attack and on how they have very limited wasted movement, a very limited wasted time in the round. And that is a big difference between these two teams on their attack side on Skyscraper thus far.
13 kills for Shaiko through 9 rounds, well, 8 rounds of action. The one stat that I always like to bring up is that Shaiko has like a lifetime 1 point something KPR, kills per round.
Yeah.
Inconceivable.
Yeah.
Against the best opponents in the world, you are getting a consistent 1 kill every round.
I mean, Shaiko is consistently leading all the kills, the KD, the entry stats for pretty much every single event, both domestically and internationally. I mean, going into this, he's number 1 in rating, 1.46. DS Lucas, 1.37 behind him. Plus minus, he's plus 36 in that as well. In entry, he is 5th with plus 8. In cost, he's 5th as well. This man is everywhere statistically in the top 5. It's impressive. It really is.
It's been quite a career for Shaiko. The only thing that he really needed was a major championship, and they got it in Sweden in Jönköping just a couple months ago. Now, I suppose the only thing that's left is World Championship.
Hammer, yep.
A lot of people thought that they'd be favorites coming into this event. There was that stunning first result against CAG, but then it was business as usual against OXG. While we were talking, EFAC was downed. Dots is able to finish him off with a grenade. Down goes the alibi. EFAC can absolutely take over games, but he's been held to a pretty mortal 7-7 so far. Every single Brazilian team that is at this event has the potential to humble even the best of fraggers. Doesn't matter who you are. The fact that you see people like Shaiko still excelling, well, that's just a testament to how good he is. Lems has picked up 2 kills since we started counting that Lems tracker, by the way.
Yep. He's slowly finding his footing. We see Dots, both this round and the previous, is sitting on this window rappel, cutting the bomb site, or above the bomb site rather, in half, while Maya does a nice wallbang job of his own, getting Renchi's head.
Not an ideal start for BDS at all. Lost looking to tighten this one up. He'll add a 3rd trophy to the wall. Brede and Lems left to go. No shade to Lems, but you're going to have to start finding kills very quickly. You've only got 2 so far through 8 rounds of action. Not ideal. He waits very patiently. The good thing that Loss has going for them is that they were kind of quick. In comparison to the previous 2 rounds, they were in much faster. And that means that even if there's only 2 people left for BDS, you can take your time in finding them. Lems taking damage from the soft wall of back stairs, picks up kill number 3. He'll inch up, but lose the engagement to Maya. The Jackal walks right in, and Brede's attempt thwarted by Dash.
Much better.
Lost one, keeping this one close. Pick up round number 4.
Much, much better. If they keep that up with the pace in the early stage of the round, they will be looking mighty fine these rounds to come. Maya, of course, getting a wall bang in that round helps that tremendously as well. Just kind of speeds things up, getting those free kills, so to speak, uncontested. BDS, they aren't really fighting back much on the roam game either. 2 of the 3 deaths that occurred was essentially BDS running away from a fight rather than into one. So there is a playstyle change that can be made here for BDS to say, okay, leave 1 or 2 members on the bomb side, have those last 3 or 4 members fight for their lives on the roam, challenge Lost One on the early stage of the round, perhaps then fall back, or just, as I said, fight to the very end. The bomb sites themselves on Skyscraper aren't actually particularly strong, if you will. There are not many great positions to play in. The windows cuts off a long lines of sight, verticality, etc. So I would definitely argue that fighting in between the bombs that you're playing on and the extended roam, for example, right here, that's the in-between, the dragon drum kind of area. That's your that's your real fortress, essentially, where you can fight easier as a defender. It's kind of like Chalet defending bar. You have that top blue shield and top chimney shield, and if you attack from office as an attacker, that's the first pain point you'll encounter, and then the bombs at afterwards. It's a very similar story to this.
I do like that Lost One picked it up in terms of speed. I gotta say, I think if BDS loses this round, a timeout has to be called. Just to settle it down. Because if they don't call it, that'll mean that Lost One have won 5 rounds of the last 6. And that also coincidentally goes back to when they called the timeout. Lost One have only dropped a single round since they called that timeout. That's a very impressive streak of gameplay, and it's happened on both sides. It's happened on both attack and on defense. So you can't turn around and say, oh, it's just because of the side swap. Yeah, sure. I mean, they've won as many rounds on attack now as they did on defense. They've still got plenty of rounds to go on attack, no matter what. This round, 2 more.
I would not want to be leaky fag right now.
No, you're going to be in a world of hurt playing over by Terrace, but he wins the engagement. Okay, never mind. He trades out half of his HP to take Logan out of the fight.
I concur. I do want to be leaky fag. Love plays like that.
I mean, he's also a strapping young lad.
That he is.
He's indisputably more attractive than you.
Indisputed? That's almost... Okay, that's he.
I'm going to use this word.
Yeah, objectively, I'll take that one.
Objectively more attractive, and indisputably as well. We can ask the great people of Twitch chat, who's more attractive?
Oh, no.
Efak or Pengu?
Oh, no.
There you go.
Before he wins...
You lose that battle. You lose that battle 9 times out of 10.
I'm losing that battle. That's fair. I had my run when I was young, now I'm a boomer.
This could be match point for BDS, by the way. Depending on what happens with Dots. Right now, upside down on Repel. Lems is a DMR of his own, puts to good work on Maya. 2 bodies will hit the floor, 4 Lost One, a 3rd one as well. BDS are not allowing Lost in the building. Dash gets in, wait, hold on a second here. Don't let them in the building, but their sight's been somewhere else. Dots is too distracted. Dash now in a position to do some mighty damage as Dots looks to join from backstairs. Efak taken down. Lost has made this a 2v2. BDS and everything going for them, Nick. But suddenly, Lost One is back in this conversation. Congratulations, though. You've got the toughest opponent in the entire server to still dispatch, and you have no idea where he is. Lighting you up in the process. Lems to distract you. This is a good 1-2 punch. Oh, Lems doesn't have the information. Yes, he does. He misses out on the opportunity. Down goes Shaiko. Lems for match point. He'll get it done and finish it as well. BDS go through a scare, but they clutch yet another post plant. This time not theirs, their opponents. That point for BDS.
Oh my, that is so chaotic. I mean, the flank around was beautiful from BDS, but this initial injury from Dash and the follow-up from Dots, so much value. Dokkaebi on the side window Repel with the diffuser realizes, damn, this guy is in. I gotta get my booty over there as well. Goes downstairs in the window, finds the effect below through the wall essentially. There's a small gap in it. Walks up the staircase, survives the crossfire from Shaiko, and gets the diffuser down just in time before BDS's flank arrives.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being
6-4
attackers.
in favor of BDS. Changing bomb sides to figure out what are we feeling here because things are kind of mixed bag right now in terms of success. Office, sure, BDS, they've won it before, but that was because Lost One, they were very, very slow to the punch, didn't have enough time to execute correctly. They've learned since then. They are playing faster than in the past. Ying now being brought out as well. Have not seen that from them yet. Dokkaebi is stable, the Lion is stable, trying to kind of nerf BDS's gunfight capabilities by either A, making them stand still, or 2, make their phone ring so we can hear where they are when that gunfight occurs if you're on the roam. Dots has to stay alive. This Ying cannot die on the roam clear. You need that for the site itself, unless, of course, you can spend those Candelas to kill a member or 2 before hitting the site itself, but that is very unlikely how mobile Team BDS they are.
Big moment for BDS on their map, obviously. You expect them to win this one. We'll go to Villa next. That's Lost One's pick. Though, it's based off the top of my head. I don't expect a drubbing from Lost One, from what we know of the way that both these teams play Villa. There's the pocket EMP, and the Selma will open things up. Lost looking to be quicker than previous rounds.
So Shanko had a choice there to shoot the Selma charge or not, chose not to in case it was a bait. If Shanko steps up to that door and shoots through it, he could get banged or wall banged back to the door barricade and therefore get shut down. He says, you know, you get the wall, I'll stay alive. I'm more valuable as a gun than in the grave. Beautiful coordination. BDS opens up the door, Shanko runs out, he gets the kill. 14 on the board for him.
And it's the Lion down for the count. That Lion could be so integral for getting that diffuser in, paralyzing these defenders. And when you couple it with the logic bombs, both of which are still in play for Rise, and all 4 Candelas for Dots' Ying, well, you see how powerful all of those work together. They synergize very effectively. You don't have the EU1Ds. So there's going to be free roam for BDS at this point. Yeah, they're going to make some noise when the logic bombs inevitably come in. There's the first one to go from Rise. You'll hear the telltale signs of the phone ring away. Rise trading out a bunch of HP to take out EFAC, who has finally gone underwater in terms of his kill-death rate. Shanko picks up yet another kill, this time on Loben. That's the Flores, removed from action. Last logic bomb will go, and there's still a minute left. So roam clearing is going to be a bit tougher now. You're just going to have to do it with the drones you have. And there's still plenty of them for Loss 1, should they take some time to get on them. Candela's going out from Dots. He moves in towards Terrace. He's got an opening next to him. Shanko blinded, punished for it, but Alems is a little bit farther back. Dots taking up even more space. As he have more Candelas to toss out, one remains. Where will it go? Gets eaten by an ADS. Maya eliminating Renshiro. It's a 2v2, but Alems is in a power play position. In sprints Maya, a 1v1 between BDS and Maya. We've seen BDS in these positions so many times. Flashes from Maya, but he just blinds himself, and BDS makes it look so damn easy. In a 1v1, you never count him out. How many rounds did he win by himself for BDS in just this map? More than some will do over an entire stage. BDS as good as ever, BDS as good as ever. 7-4, BDS take their map of Skyscraper.
3 individual 1v1